is a presentation on the topic nuclear energy. It is being presented by Gaurav Soni of class 10th D and submitted to Sandesha ma'am. So let's start with a question. What is nuclear energy? Nuclear energy is a powerful source of energy generated during a nuclear reaction by change in the nucleus of an atom. The source of nuclear energy is the mass of the nucleus, and energy generated during a nuclear reaction is due to the conversion of mass into energy. This is according to the Einstein's theory. How is nuclear energy produced? The two ways to obtain it are the nuclear fission and the nuclear fusion. First is nuclear fission. In nuclear physics and chemistry, nuclear fission is a nuclear reaction or a radioactive decay process in which the nucleus of an atom splits into two or more smaller and lighter nuclei. The fission process often produces gamma photons and releases a very large amount of energy even by the energetic standards of radioactive decay. The second is nuclear fusion. It is a reaction in which two or more atomic nuclei are combined to form one for different atomic nuclei and subatomic particles, neutrons and protons. The difference in mass between the reactants and products is manifested as either absorption or release of energy. Fusion is the process that powers active or main sequence or high magnitude stars. Example, Sun. Some facts about nuclear energy. Nuclear power plants produces 14% of electricity all over the world. France is totally dependent on nuclear energy to produce electricity, since 75.2% of its total electricity comes from nuclear power plant. In 2019, there were 450 nuclear reactors operating in 30 countries around the world. USA is the largest nuclear energy producer in the world. The most famous nuclear disaster is the Chernobyl nuclear disaster, which happened in the former USSR on Saturday 26th April 1986. 16,000 men died due to this disaster. About uranium. Uranium is a chemical element with the symbol U and atomic number 92. It is a silvery grey metal in the actinide series of the periodic table. A uranium atom has 92 protons and 92 electrons, of which 6 are valence electrons. It is weakly radioactive. It is found in two isotopes, in which U-238 is most common and accounts of 99% of the total uranium found on the earth. The other is U-235, which accounts of 1% of total uranium found on the earth. Unfortunately, U-235 is used as a nuclear fuel. When we compare U-235 to U-238, we find that U-235 can sustain a fission chain reaction. Some artificial satellites such as SNAP-10A and RAPSATs were powered by nuclear reactors fueled with U-235. How do nuclear power plants work? They generate electricity in a very similar way to other traditional power plants, differing in the type of fuel used. All electricity generation plants produce heat and turns water into steam, which drives a turbine connected to a generator and subsequently produces electricity. In a nuclear reactor, uranium atoms are split into smaller parts by changing their molecular structure using the fission process. The energy released during this split creates heat to produce steam, which is used by a turbine generator to generate electricity. The nuclear fission process is an extremely efficient way to produce power. So what are the advantages? The advantages are there is almost no emission or a very low emission of greenhouse gases. A small amount of fuel produces a large amount of energy. They can be sited almost anywhere, unlike oil, which is mostly imported. Modern reactors have 2 to 10 times more efficiency than the older generation reactors. Therefore, they produce more electricity. It brings job and prosperity to a country. What are their disadvantages? Nuclear power plants are more expensive to build and maintain. Disposing of the nuclear waste is very difficult and need to be done after a lot of planning by the experts. There is presently no adequate, safe long-term storage for radioactive and chemical waste produced by early reactors. Uranium is not renewable and can lead to environmental problems through mining and processing. A major impact is the manufacturing of nuclear weapons. As if it goes into wrong hands like terrorists, then there would be chance of a cold war and the destruction of the world. Facts on India's nuclear power. Nuclear power is the fifth largest source of electricity in India after coal, gas, hydroelectricity and wind power. As of March 2018, India has 22 nuclear reactors in operation in 7 nuclear power plants with a total installed capacity of 6780 megawatt. Nuclear power produced a total of 35 terawatt hour and supplied 3.22% of Indian electricity in 2017. 7 more nuclear reactors are under construction with a combined generation capacity of 4300 megawatt. Now it is being under the control of Department of Atomic Energy and is directly under the PM. Its headquarter is in Mumbai. You can see the motto in the right side of the picture. Its motto is atoms in the service of the nation. These are the places where nuclear energy, or we can say nuclear power plants, are there. You can see this. With this, we come to the end of this PPT. Thank you for your attention.